In this video, we're going to go through the latest pickups I got from Screen Factory. We'll get started right after this. Welcome back to Pot's Movie Dungeon. Hey, how's it going, everybody? Welcome back to Pot's Movie Dungeon. Thank y'all so much for clicking on the video. In this video, we're going to go over the last titles I picked up from Screen Factory. I got probably, 8 or 10 titles here we're going to go over. We're going to talk about some of the latest Screen Factory issues. But guys, before I get started, thank y'all so much again for clicking on the video. If this is your first time here, please consider subscribing to the channel. If you guys have been here before, thank y'all so much for coming back. As always, I appreciate all your support. So we're going to go ahead and get started talking about what everybody else is talking about right now. And that, of course, is the Child's Play 4Ks 1, 2, and 3. Now, I was lucky enough to get these pre-ordered so I could get the Greasy special editions. Everybody knows what's going on with these guys. I'm sure y'all have watched 10,000 videos on this already. But yes, mine had the same problem. All three of my discs had that greasy shit on the inside. I don't know what the hell it was. But I did grab a couple of these cloths, these microfiber cloths. And I was able to get them cleaned up. You know, it took me 5 minutes, not a big deal. So they're all cleaned up now. And I have put in the first disc. The first Child's Play. I'll show you guys what it looks like now. It's all nice and clean. You guys can, I don't know if that's picking up or not, guys, but everything's nice and shiny now. There's a couple little fingerprints on there, but yeah, it's a pain in the ass, guys. I mean, I don't know if you guys have picked this up or not, but pretty much on the inside of each of these discs, it has some kind of film on it. They called it outgassing or some shit. But I don't know what it was. But like I said, this microfiber cloth, a couple wipes on it, it was clean. Everything was fine. None of my discs were damaged. At least the first one wasn't. I threw in the first Child's Play and let it play in the background for about a half hour. No problems at all that I've seen. So yeah, guys. I mean, everybody knows it's ridiculous. Screen Factory really needs to step up their game with this quality control. It's really a pain in the ass. But as much as we pay for these titles, guys, we shouldn't have to open up a brand new disc, get a cloth and wipe it down. And I know there's a lot of people that are contacting Screen Factory, going through the rigmarole, getting new shit sent to them, or at least trying to. Screen Factory really didn't do a great job as far as, going through the motions of replacing these discs for people. They just pretty much set out a statement, basically saying, wipe the damn things off, so to speak. So that's what I did. I didn't feel like going through the aggravation. Like I said, pain in the ass, but I'm really glad to have these on 4K. I love these movies. I love this series. And, minus the greasing problem, whatever you want to call it. These are some great releases. The first one I put in looked fantastic. As far as the artwork goes, yeah, like everybody else, I do wish we would have got some new artwork for this. This was the commission artwork they did for the Blu-ray, and we did get the original posters for 2 and 3, and we also got these fantastic slips, which I absolutely love, guys. This is kind of a throwback to the great Screen Factory from yesterday when they did this great artwork. I absolutely love these, but I do wish we would have got one of these for Child's Play 1. But that being said, not that big a deal. I am a fan of this here, so it is what it is. But yeah, do I wish that we'd have got a new commission artwork for 1? Of course. But like I said, not that big of a deal. I don't know why they didn't do it. I don't know if it was they had they saved the rights for the original artwork for the steelbook. I don't know. But speaking of that, I also picked up the Child's Play 4K steelbook, and that does have that original artwork. Show y'all the inside here real fast. You guys haven't seen this already. You get the 3 discs, and there was no outgassing or grease or anything inside the steelbook. The steelbook was in great shape. No problems at all with that. So that is a good thing. There's the inside. Really nice looking steelbook, guys. Really glad I picked this up. I'm not the biggest fan of double dipping. I mean, I do it more than I probably should. But this is a franchise and a movie that I really enjoy. But I really wanted to grab this steelbook, so I'm real glad that I did. And like I said, I do wish that they would have gave us that artwork for Child's Play 1 on the 4K. I think that would have been great. And then on top of that, gave us one of these covers here with new artwork. That would have been perfect. But we don't live in a perfect world. It is what it is. But on this Child's Play disc here, on the first Child's Play, you do get that artwork there, and you do get the artwork on the other side. So that kind of tells me that it wasn't because they didn't have the rights. I just think it's just like everybody else is saying, it's just pure laziness. But yeah, I don't know. There's probably more of the story than we know. But whatever it is, guys, you know, it is what it is. You know, I'm tired of bitching about it. It is what it is. But you know, I keep hoping Screen Factory's going to get their shit together. You know, do something to improve their quality control. You can't tell me that they're not hearing everybody bitch. You know, there's so many people on YouTube, so many people out there that are bitching. They have to have somebody that subscribe to somebody on YouTube that's listening to everybody bitch about this stuff. So it's either they genuinely just don't give a shit, or, you know, I don't know. I have no answers. But obviously, I still support the company. I'm still buying their shit, and ironically enough, all the people that are bitching, they're still buying their shit too. So they're still supporting them as well. Now, one thing that I seen last night on Mid-Level Media's channel, over on Ken's channel, he had mentioned that a year and a half ago, Kino had released Spaceballs with the same problem, the greasy outgassing, whatever the hell you want to call it. So this isn't something that's brand new. This isn't the only thing that happened with Screen Factory. It's happened with other companies as well. I really, to be honest with you, I hadn't paid attention, so I don't know what disc I got that have the outgassing problem, whatever you want to call it. But like Ken said in his video last night that I watched, whatever, Screen Factory gets the most hate and gets kind of put in the limelight because they're such a big company. But there are other companies with similar issues. That being said, but I am in agreement with everybody with the bitching. It's ridiculous. They could do better. They should do better, and I hope that they do. But I'm gonna stick with them for now, guys. Hopefully, it don't get any worse. You know, it's just a bunch of little stupid shit. You know, like the Child's Play. The Child's Play didn't say that it had Dolby Atmos, but it did. And the Red Dawn release, whatever, said that it had Atmos, but it didn't. Whatever. It's just little stupid shit, guys. It's just little stupid shit that should be caught. All right, we're gonna move on from that, guys. Everybody's talked these to death, but I wanted to show you guys and what I had and show you that I fixed it easy, and kind of give you my thoughts on that. All right, guys, we're gonna go on and move on from that. So the next thing I have here is the recent 4K re-release from Screen Factory of the movie Cat People. Now, I am not a great big fan of this movie. It is okay. You know, if it wasn't a Screen Factory release, would I have upgraded this to 4K? Probably not. But, you know, being the damn completionist that I am, I decided to go in and pick it up. You know, I have all the collector's editions, and I guess I'm going to go ahead and collect them all in 4K. But anyway, it kind of sucks, but it is what it is. But anyway, guys, this is the reverse artwork for Cat People. I am a fan of that artwork. I'll just show you guys. There's what you get on the slip, and there's the other side there. You know, the movie's okay. It came out in 1982. It was directed by Paul Schrader, and it stars Natasha Kinski, which she's always fun to look at, Malcolm McDowell, and John Hurd. And the basic premise of the movie, if you haven't seen it, a young woman's sexual awakening brings horror when she discovers her urges transform her into a monstrous black leopard. So that's the basic plot of the movie, guys. It also stars Annette O'Toole, Ed Begley Jr., Ruby Dee, Frankie Faison, John Larroquette. It's got a pretty deep cast, guys. So, you know, it's not a bad movie. It's not a bad movie. It's definitely not one of my favorites, but, you know, I got the 4K of it now. Hoping I never have to buy it again. There it is, guys. So that's going to be the 4K of Cat People. All right, the next thing I picked up, guys, was the recent 4K re-release of Dog Soldiers. I do like that artwork. Now, Second Sight is releasing this as well, and they have a really nice Second Sight Deluxe Edition. So I know a lot of people are choosing that, which I totally understand. I thought about double dipping and grabbing that one as well, but for now, I'm just going to stick with this one here. But this movie came out in 2002. It was directed by Neil Marshall, and it stars Sean Pertwee, I'm probably saying that wrong, Kevin McKidd, and Emma Klesby. Don't recognize any of those names. I have seen this movie. Now, in full disclosure, I have not watched the Screen Factory Blu-ray since I've got it, but I watched the movie probably once or twice back in the day. I did enjoy the movie. I have heard that the Blu-ray transfer from Screen Factory was not that great. I also heard that this transfer is also not that great. Now, I'm not quite sure if Second Sight and this one used the same transfer, not 100%. But I want to say I heard CK over at Dead Pit say that the transfer on Second Sight looked really good. So maybe they used a different transfer. If I find out the transfer from Second Sight is better than this one, I'll probably go ahead and pick that deluxe edition that they have. I'll probably go and pick that up. But, you know, I'm going to watch this one and see how it looks. If it looks good enough, I'll probably just stick with this one and move on. But, yeah, guys, that's Dog Soldier. I'm going to show you what it looks like on the inside. You know, you got the nice 4K artwork there. There's a shot of the back. And there's the artwork on the disc. And you get no reversible on this, which really, really fucking sucks. No reversible. Don't know why they do that. But yeah, it is what it is. At least give us the original artwork on the other side. That's something for a collector's edition we should definitely get. So that kind of sucks. Alright, the next thing I picked up is one of their Shout Select releases, and this is Spine number 136. And it's a movie starring Robert Redford, Nick Nolte, and Emma Thompson, and it's called A Walk in the Woods. Now, I'm a fan of this movie. I actually seen this in theaters when it came out. I think it had a pretty small theatrical release. It came out in 2015. If you guys hadn't seen this and you're a fan of Nick Nolte and Robert Redford, this is one you should definitely check out. I did enjoy this. I'm a huge Nick Nolte fan, so I'll pretty much watch anything that he's in. So one day I wanted to go see a movie. I seen this was playing. I hadn't heard anything about it. So I kind of walked in there blind, and I became a big fan of this movie. This is a really good film. And so when I seen when Shout Select was putting this out, I really wanted to pick it up. But like I said, it came out in 2015, and it stars Robert Redford, Nick Nolte, Emma Thompson, like I said. It says, after spending 2 decades in England, Bill Bryson, played by Robert Redford, returns to the U.S., where he decides the best way to connect with his homeland is to hike the Appalachian Trail with one of his oldest friends, Stephen Katz, played by Nick Nolte. Now, Nick Nolte plays his normal, old, gruff character in this. There's a lot of funny back and forth between these two. If you're an older guy like me, you could really appreciate this. This is maybe the younger generation, maybe the younger people out there might not enjoy this as much, but somebody that's getting on up there in age, whatever, they can really relate to these guys. At least I could. Yeah, guys, it's a really good movie. I mean, I think you should definitely check it out. It's one that I was a fan of the first time I seen it, and I've watched it one other time. I want to say I got it on Voodoo maybe a couple years ago, but I'm glad to have this on physical media. So that was a good release by Shout Select. Very happy about that. All right, the next few titles I have here are some of the Screen Factory site exclusives that they put out. It's just kind of a random announcement they'll throw out there, and they're limited run. They're like 1,000 copies, 1,500 copies, something like that. And you can only get them on the Shout Factory website. But the first one is the new double feature, and it had been a pretty good while since they had put out a double feature. And this one is a movie called Strip to Kill and Final Judgment. I hadn't heard or seen either one of these movies here, but they did look very interesting. Strip to Kill came out in 1987. It was directed by Kat Shea, which I'm not familiar with. It stars Kay Lenz, Greg Evigan, and Norman Fell. It says when Detective Cody Sheehan discovers the body of a stripper from the Rock Bottom Dance Club, she wants the case. But the only way Cody can get the assignment is to go undercover, uncovered at the club. So it sounds pretty good. Sounds like it should be a pretty good time. And the other movie in this collection here, The Final Judgment, it came out in 1992. It was directed by Louis Bornet, and this one stars Brad Dourif, the voice of Chucky. I love Brad Dourif. I'm a big fan of his. I was really excited about this one, just him being in it. But this one also stars Isaac Hayes, Orson Bean, which I recognize, Maria Ford. I'm not familiar with her, but yeah, guys, Final Judgment sounds like it's a pretty good time. I am excited to pick this up. I do have all the double features except for one, and we'll talk about that in just a little bit. You'll see what I'm talking about in just a minute. I am missing one. But there's the inside of the disc, and here's the back, guys. And, surprising or not, I don't see any problems with this. I haven't watched the disc yet. I just got it in, but there's no misspellings. There's no grease. The disc looks fine. So maybe there's no problems with the audio or the video. We'll see. I'm sure that if there is, we'll all hear about it. Next one is the other site exclusive release that they announced a few days ago. And this one stars Dennis Hopper, Stephen Dorff, Debbie Mazar, and Charles Dance. And it's a movie called Space Truckers. Now, I'm not familiar with this. I've never heard of it. But it does sound like something I would be interested in. It came out in 1996. It says a space trucker and his cute fiancée are on their way from a space station to Earth with an unknown cargo. Space pirates hijack them. 5,000 disintegrator robots are found in the cargo. This was directed by Stuart Gordon, and it's kind of funny when you bring it up on IMDb, even though you got Dennis Hopper and Stephen Dorff here on the cover like as the main stars, when you go out here and look at the top cast, Dennis Hopper and Stephen Dorff are way down the list to cast. I don't recognize anybody before them. Tim Leone, Ian Betty. You don't recognize anybody. Dennis Hopper's like the 12th listed on the cast, and Stephen Dorff's like 20. So I don't know if they just this is an old movie. They threw them on the cover, being the big stars now. They threw them on the cover to kind of sell this. I don't know. So we'll see. I mean, Stephen Dorff and Dennis Hopper may just have a small role in this. I don't know. I'll find out. But if anybody has seen this, let me know. This is what I'm definitely interested in checking out. But there's a picture of the back there. And I try to grab these site exclusives whenever I can, because like I said, these are a limited run, and when these go out of print, they really jump up in price. And I found that out the hard way. So I go in and grab these whenever they're released. You know, like I said, most of the time they don't stay around very long. Some of the more popular announcements do go pretty quick. These are still available as of the making of this video. But yeah, I'm looking forward to that one there. Alright, so this next one is a double dip again. In my last video, I talked about that I got the Red Dawn 4K slipcover from, and I bought the set that had the enamel pins and the posters and all that shit. Even though I really don't want the enamel pins, that's the set I ended up getting. My plan is I'm going to try it out. My plan is that when everything goes out of stock, I'm going to try to sell those pins, hopefully pay for the movies. We'll see. I don't know, that might bite me in the ass. Never done it before. We're going to see. I have no interest in the enamel pins. But if anybody down the road sees this video, you're looking for the Red Dawn enamel pins, let me know. You know, if somebody watches the video, reaches out, I'll give you a good deal. But don't get it on eBay. When I put it on eBay, I'm gonna list it for whatever the price is going for. Just be warned. But like I said, I double dipped, and I decided to go and grab this one here. This is, of course, the Red Dawn Steelbook from Best Buy. The Screen Factory on Best Buy collaboration, whatever the hell you want to call it. They did the same thing for Chucky. They did the same thing for Red Dawn, so I'm assuming this is going to be a new thing they're doing. Some kind of partnership with Best Buy, I really don't know. But I am a big fan of this Steelbook, guys. I grew up watching this movie. I've talked about it before in other videos. This movie is absolutely fantastic if you hadn't seen it. It's got just a friggin' star-studded cast. It stars Patrick Swayze, C. Thomas Howell, Leah Thompson, Charlie Sheen, Darren Dalton, you'll recognize him when you see him, Jennifer Grey, Brad Savage, Powers Booth, Harry Dean Stanton. I mean, guys, this is an absolute 80s classic. Like I said, I watched this movie so many times growing up, and just a little history about this. This is the first movie that was rated PG-13. When they came out with a PG-13, I want to say PG-13 started getting talked about because of Temple of Doom, Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom. And after Steven Spielberg, started working on trying to get that new rating and added to the system, this was the first release that had that rating. I remember way back in the day when this was first advertised on TV, and it came up PG-13, back before we had internet and all that shit. And I'm like, PG-13, what the hell is that? Obviously, I figured it out, but you got to be at least 13 to watch the movie. But, a little bit of history there. This is the first one that had that title. But this movie came out in 1984. It is the dawn of World War III. The West Mountains of America, a group of teenagers band together to defend their town and their country from invading Soviet forces. Now, guys, you got to realize this movie came out in 84. This was during the Cold War. And everybody was kind of on edge. That was the big deal back then. And just the thought of somebody invading America was something that was always very scary during this time. And so this movie came out at a time when this was a pretty hot topic. The bad guys in this movie aren't the best. They're okay. It's probably the weakest part of the movie for me. But that being said, the cast being so good, it's just a great time, guys. If you haven't seen Red Dawn, please check it out. I usually check out remakes. And there's a lot of remakes that I do like, but I will say that the Red Dawn remake I was not a fan of. I do wish they had just left this alone, not tried to remake it. I can understand why they did. You get a group of new hot stars in there. It's a great story. But I just don't think it worked very well. I wasn't a big fan of the remake, but this original, it is one of my favorites. It's one of my favorite movies from the 80s. So I'm a big fan of that, guys. Glad to have that on 4K. Alright, guys, this last thing here is something that I have mentioned on this channel before. I have all the double features from Screen Factory. The one double feature I'm missing is the Slumber Party Massacre 2 and 3 double feature, because it's out of print. It goes for ridiculous money. The cheapest I found it was like for $299 on eBay, not paying that much for it. So right now that is the only release from Screen Factory that I don't have. I'm not including the steelbooks that they put out. I never really collected those. Besides the steelbooks that Screen Factory put out, I have everything else except for this one double feature. And of course, I had to go out and get a bootleg copy of it from Sloppy Second Sales. And that's what the artwork looks like there. They did a pretty good job on it. It's not quite as bright and vivid as the Screen Factory release, what I've seen online. There's the back right there. There's the spine. They did a pretty good job with the packaging. The good thing is it's not in a cheap case, it's in a good Blu-ray case. So that's something there. And of course the inside is just plain, nothing to it. You even got the fancy handwriting there, saying what you got on the disc. The guy's very plain, not much to it. But that's what it is. And this thing was cheap, guys. I think I paid like maybe $15 for this. It wasn't much at all. It might have been a little less than that. But for the time being, until they re-release this in 4K or I find a somewhat decent deal on this, this will sit on the shelf and fill my spot for me for the missing title that I have. Better than nothing. But guys, that's all I got in this video. I just wanted to hop on real fast, and I wanted to go over my latest Scream Factory titles. They were kind of starting to stack up on me a little bit, and I kind of wanted to give my thoughts on the Child Play debacle. I'm sure you guys are probably tired of hearing about it. I know I am. I just want Scream Factory to get their shit together. I'm a fan of the company. I love Scream Factory. Let's say this. I love the releases the Scream Factory puts out. I can't say I love Scream Factory right now because, you know, like everybody else, I'm pretty pissed off. I'm pretty disappointed how they're treating everybody. But I am a big fan of the titles. And I just hope that, you know, they square their shit away. But anyway, guys, enough about that. Thank y'all so much for watching the video. I'll be back with another collection update really soon. Last night we had episode 3 of our favorite movies from 1970 to 2020 series we're doing. Our stream last night went over 5 hours. We had some great people in the chat, some really good back and forth, guys. I had an absolute blast. It was one of the funnest live streams I've ever done. So if you guys haven't had a chance to check that out yet, I'm going to link that down below. Go check it out. Go watch episodes 1 and 2. Episode 4 is slotted to be released on September the 10th. That's going to be a Saturday night at 10 p.m. Eastern. So I'll be advertising that a few days before it goes live, so keep your eyes out for that. Well, guys, that's going to do it. Thank y'all so much for watching the video. I'll be back soon with some more collection updates. You guys take care, be safe, and I will see y'all next time. Take care.